So I got three pieces of news for us for today.
Okay.
First is today starts the 13th anniversary celebration.
Yep. You get a nice little item that gives you 13% additional rep, and on top of that,
And
there are
XP
a
if you're
few
if you're
classic
not
world bosses.
110 already.
There's also a few classic world bosses.
And you can also get the bronze tinted sunglasses,
Yep.
which if we look at them are beautiful bug eye things.
They are very pretty.
Looks like there's a little quest chain to go kill the three world bosses.
Yeah, that's a daily quest, I'm pretty sure.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you get time warp. Yeah, you get 200 time warped badges.
Yeah.
Which is
they give you a
nice.
lot of time warping stuff.
Get all of those.
Time walking.
Get all those mounts. I just think it's. I like the. Oh yeah, and you get a Chromie scenario. Gives time warp badges according to this. So if you haven't done that, do that. I like their. I've liked all their anniversary stuff. I really liked 10 when we did Molten Core.
Yeah. Oh, Molten Core.
Which was funny.
Never again.
It was funny watching people die because they didn't know what they were doing.
Mechanics are hard, apparently.
There weren't even really that many mechanics in that raid. Alright, so yeah, 13th anniversary, do it. It ends on the 30th. It's very exciting. Allied races, we have more information. I don't know if this came out from during Blizz. Oh, it came from BlizzCon interviews. That's why I missed it. And got to do a quest to do that to get them. Starts at level 20. Looks like you're gonna need rep to get each of them. So High Mountain Tauren, you're gonna need.
They actually haven't quite solidified what you need to do to unlock them yet, from what I've heard.
According
That's
to
something that they're still working on.
According to the article, they said specifically that High Mountain has a quest line and you need High Mountain rep. At least a bunch of stuff I've heard says you need like Exalted with the High Mountain Tauren, which I mean isn't hard. But
I think everything else though is speculation based off needing reps.
Right. I mean everything needs a quest line. They've said that. Just what other requirements in addition to the quest line is not confirmed. We have a list of classes, but I think we've had that already before anyway.
That was announced during BlizzCon, I'm pretty sure.
And then we actually have racials for Lightforged Draenei. And oops, I did not want to open that model viewer. For the Lightforged Draenei. So, special race of Draenei that are blessed by the light. Character customization offers new horn styles, light touch tattoos, and can be changed. And the glowing rune on their forehead is also customizable, which is kind of cool. Racial ability Light's Judgment. Call down a strike of holy energy, dealing 5,150 holy damage to enemies within 5 yards after 3 seconds. 40-yard range, 2.5 minute cooldown, instant. I really hope that's a base value and it scales. Because 5,000 holy damage isn't.
Well, another thing to keep in mind is that this might be post-stat squish, and item level squish, so all of this damage might be actually really good for what we're seeing.
Okay.
Because from what I was seeing off people who were streaming the actual dungeons, like crits were like people were like below like 1,000 damage on most of their things from what I've seen. So. Like the squish is pretty significant from what I saw.
Okay. So this could be very good. It could be very bad.
Well, it is just numbers. It can be good. It can be bad.
I mean, racial abilities like this have never been, something supremely
They've never been
significant.
game breaking. So
The only ones that I think I really, really liked that are actives are Stone Form on dwarves.
hmm
Um, most of those ones that are just flat out buffs, like the normal Draenei, the heal,
hmm
that sort of stuff. So this could be good. This could be bad. I don't know. I don't know where the number lies.
Yeah, but that's just a question of where's the number going to lie when it comes out, and we don't know that yet. So
uh, Racial ability Forge of Light. Summon a Forge of Light, enabling blacksmithing. Now there really is absolutely no idea if you take blacksmithing on this character to carry those anvils, the
yeah,
thermal anvils, unless you need to smelt something. And then blacksmithing skill is increased by 10. So I mean, if you don't have a blacksmith, play a late forge Draenei. Um,
see, the Demon's Bane racial passive experience gained from killing beasts is increased by 20%. I think it's kind of interesting that it's beasts and not demons, given the name. But
this passive makes no sense. Like
like, why?
this should say
Why?
demons
It should, but
or
I presume we won't be seeing a lot of demons in battle for Azeroth. So
right. But I mean, this is for leveling, so and
yeah,
you have to go through. Well, you don't have to, but you're probably going to at least touch some TBC and Legion,
yeah.
where where this same demons would be significantly relevant. Uh, Final verdict is funny. Uh, I could see this being really useful for like tanks.
hmm I see it more of like a PvP type thing. I think that's where it would be most beneficial.
Right, but I mean, at least it's a little nice boost if you are, say, the tank taking most of the damage and die, or if you just
Yeah.
want to be the silly DPSer who stands in the fire. Then even your death is useful.
Holy Resistance probably isn't going to be that useful.
I mean, I think it's just thematic at this point,
It is very thematic.
but I don't think it's gonna be
What does
significant.
holy damage? Holy priests, disc priests, maybe. That's it.
Paladins, most paladin damage is holy.
Okay.
Then we get
Now the High Mountain. Their
so
race. Yeah.
characteristics separate them from the Mulgore are tribal painting is unique is customizable,
hmm
and their tribal markings on their horns, as well as the moose horns themselves.
The moose horns. You can be a moose torn now.
In druid form, the horns of the bear and cat change to moose horns instead of the basic tauren horns on those,
The torn horns.
which is cool. Racial ability Bull Rush. It's a CC ability similar to their current Stun Stomp. I could see this being really
hmm
useful to take on a warrior just to give you an extra charge. I mean, yes, it takes 2 minutes, but at least it's an extra button.
Yeah.
I'm not knowledgeable enough to know if this is thematic, but I mean, it's cool that they get increased mining skill and faster mining power.
As far as I'm aware, there's not that much basis for it, but this is Blizzard, so they do
It
what they
makes sense.
want.
They live in the mountains.
That's true, yeah.
I mean,
You
that's
do have the whole blacksmithing place located there, so it does make some sense.
and then you got the mountaineer where your verse is increased by 1%, and
They seem very tanky to me.
that is significantly more significant than holy resistance.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like the racials you see for the Light Forge Deny aren't really as good as the racials you see for the High Mountain Torn, except for their active abilities.
Mm-hmm. Rugged Tenacity reduces damage taken by 330. I don't think that's going to be significant at 120, but it's going to make leveling.
I mean, it depends on how much it scales and how much things are doing at 120, right?
I would assume that if the stat squish is as significant as you say, these numbers we're seeing here are
Mm-hmm.
going to be the 120 numbers.
Okay.
And 101, I mean, they're going to scale up as you level.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like when you were watching those streams, I'm assuming they weren't 120 characters.
No, they were 110 running through the dungeons.
So, this is probably would be probably very significant at 110, but by the time you hit 120, 330 is going to be a nice
Well,
reduction.
again, this could scale as you level. Like, typically, the way Blizzard does racials is they scale as you level,
Well,
so we don't know.
that's why I'm saying 330 is probably the 120 version.
It's numbers, and we don't know details around the numbers.
I know, but
So I think that's
I
kind of a
can
wait and see.
theorize, Will. I can
So
theorize.
I know. That's my personal opinion. To me, the numbers aren't as important as what they do.
I mean, a little bit of damage reduction is nice.
Yeah.
Probably not going to save you from getting one hit by KJ, but something.
Okay.
You have a chance to loot additional meat and fish is
Interesting.
makes sense based off of all the stuff we saw with the questing there.
Yeah.
Um,
It does make sense. Yes. I just think it's kind of interesting.
Cooking could be easier with them. I don't know.
I think farming cooking mats would be easier with the High Mountain Torrent.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to do a lot of gathering type professions on the High Mountain Torrent.
Mm-hmm.
Especially mining, because mining is so slow.
Let's see. We have Void Elves, and they have a short range teleport, and that's all we know.
That's all we know.
All right. Third and final article is that they're removing traditional raid sets in Battle for Azeroth. Don't freak out too much. You know, we're still getting themed armors from each raid, but we're not getting the classic tier set bonuses that we've been seeing because of how Azerite armor is going to be working. Which is sad because I like tier set bonuses.
I mean, I'm still not quite sure how I feel about it. I think in large part it depends on how Blizzard implements the Azerite armor. I think that could have a significant impact on how I feel about it. I don't like it. Like on first glance, I think that they're removing something that's been part of the game for a while, and I don't think that it's really necessary at the moment. I can understand why they want to do it. It's just I think that they've also kind of made a lot of the Legion tier sets really bland.
Yeah, I think.
And that makes people like, why do we have these? And so Blizzard, it basically gives Blizzard a justification to remove it.
I think the other issue we have is that there are 6 tier items now, back when there only used to be 5, or God forbid 8 back in the day.
Oh, vanilla.
But, you know, ever since Wrath, we had 5.
Yeah, it's been, I think Wrath is when we really started doing the 5.
So it was 5 from Wrath until Warlords. No.
I'm so like I think I like the goal that they have with removing tier sets because their goal, from what I've heard, is to make you not feel locked into your slots. And so once you take into consideration that you have to work around 2 legendaries, in addition to your 6 pieces of tier armor, because you know if you're really optimizing, you're going for 2 of the previous tier and 4 of the current tier. And just like with everything else, like your artifact weapon's also locked in. Like once you're done with all of that, the level of customization of your gear in Legion is very low.
I
you
think.
have like, you know, like 2 or 3 slots that you can really customize out.
Mhm.
So I agree with I agree with their goal with it. I'm just not sure how I feel about their implementation.
My issue is actually that we have 6 slots right now
Hmm.
because you didn't used to be locked into 2 slots from the previous tier with the old 5 gear system.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
would.
I think their idea with that was to give you more choice on what tier pieces you took, but then people realized that, oh, your previous tiers still count, so you should go for them as well. And
Right, but I
I
mean,
just
back in like Kata,
so instead of locking you down to 4 slots, it locked you down to
right, because back in Kata you would take 4 slots, or depending on your bonuses, you actually only took 2 because the
yeah.
4 piece was just bad. Because I think on my Paladin, I only wanted a 2 set from Dragon Soul, and then I ignored the 4 set because the stats on the other items that could go in those slots was just better.
Hmm. And that's kind of why I'm really iffy on this change, is because I feel like they're taking something away without necessarily giving something back. And another point that was mentioned in some of the other videos I've seen on this topic is that it's taking away less importance from rating and kind of making all of your avenues for gear equally viable, which in some cases I'm okay with, but at the same time, rating does take a significant investment of both time and, like, you know, organizational resources, things like that. You need to get a group together first of all, and then you need to spend the time to go and do the content. And, you know, it's also expensive gold wise because you have to flask up every time, you have to use your pre-pops and everything like that. So
I think that's
I
where
just
we. I think it's good that they're making it.
I think it's a good direction to go. I think that getting rid of tier sets makes it feel less like you have to raid to get good gear. So
Mhm.
I like that. It's just at the same time, I feel that in some way raiders should be rewarded, whether that be through slightly higher item level gear or something, just due to the nature of raiding.
I mean, I actually kind of miss the old days when we had um, PvP armor and uh, tier armor that gave PvP specific bonuses. Because then you were getting equally strong gear but it had bonuses for PvP. Whereas tier gear,
Yeah.
you were getting bonuses for PvE. So I mean, how did you want to play? Did you want to play PvP or did you want to play PvE? But I mean, I understand to the point that then you can't switch back and forth with one character as easily.
Yeah. Well, and PvP is a very weird beast these days, so
PvP's been weird since MOP.
yeah.
MOP was fine, and then we hit Warlords and Legion, and it's been odd. Not bad, just odd.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind dipping my toes into PvP every now and then, but it's not something I do very much in World of Warcraft. So
Mm-hmm. Though that the what is it? The brawls are really amusing, especially the 20v20 was it? Arena.
yeah, that was pretty fun to watch and do.
That was a clusterfuck of amusement.
Just a little bit, but sometimes you need the little clusterfucks. I think it can be more amusing to have those.
Everybody just needs a good clusterfuck. It really lightens the mood. Isn't that right, Jim? Just need a good clusterfucking. On the bright side, with them removing raid raid sets,
Hmm.
because I mean we're still getting raid sets, we're just not getting tier sets. Um,
I think it's going to work a lot like how Trial of the Crusader worked back in Wrath of the Lich King, where you get one set for a type. So like leather looks one way, and then you have a cloth set, and then you have a mail set and a play set.
And then you just have
That's how I
different.
think they're going to be doing it.
Then you just have different versions with different secondary stats on them.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe different colors.
for the secondary stats, yeah, that could be. Um, but on the bright side, this is the perfect time for us to segue later into creating opinion rankings on tier sets per class, because there won't be any more to invalidate the list.
Thank God.
We can make our top 21 druid tiers, and it won't be a problem. Though I guess it's probably more than 21 when we start including those 0.5s.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just wonder how this first tier is going to look.
Who
I wonder.
knows?
I'm kind of curious to see how they'll balance the troll versus titan theme,
Um,
and whether or not there will be any old gods in it. Old god influence.
I doubt it. Not in the first raid.
I mean, thematically, it would make sense though, because the halls of control were quarantined for old god experiments.
Yeah. I think at most you would get remnants, not like direct influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything else you want to bring up apart from these 3 articles?
Nothing at the moment. I think we're good.
All right. Works for me.